a little bit of this inning. I mean, I saw it, but I could not stream it quite yet. But the bases are loaded with 2 outs in the top of the first. Big opportunity for Thomas Saggese. He drives one to right field, but it is picked up by the first baseman of the Pirates. That is Horwitz, and it is a scoreless first for Mitch Keller, even though the bases were loaded. It was a base hit. That was actually a double by Brendan Donovan to lead off the game. And then Mason Wynn struck out. Burleson drew a walk. Gorman went down. And then you had a Nootbaar hit by pitch and a ground out by Saggese. So the Cardinals sent 6 men to the plate, but nobody was able to score, and it is 1-0 as Sonny Gray comes in for the bottom of the first. So we'll take a quick look at what Keller's done this year and Sonny Gray. And I'll have you guys ready for the bottom of the first. I'll do lineups at that time as well. So here's Keller. He's been above average this year. 1.22 whip with a 3.9 ERA. Pretty good. A very low walk rate, low barrel rate, high ground ball rate. Just some of the contact is pretty hard, but it's mostly into the ground, so that works out pretty well. Doesn't get a lot of strikeouts either, though, so the Cardinals can still get to him. Just need to continue to stack up base runners the way they did in the first, with some base hits and, line drives into the gap. I think that's the best way to beat him. And you saw that with Brendan Donovan to lead off the game. Now, Sonny Gray. .09 whip. He's been a little bit better than Keller this year. 3.36 ERA. One of the better pitchers in baseball, top 10%. Walk rate very low at just 4.5%. That's a huge thing with this defense behind him. And then the strikeout rate way up, especially after that last start, which was absolutely phenomenal from Gray. Everything above average, except obviously the velocity and expected batting average. Does allow good launch angles for the opposing team. The ground ball rate's kind of low, barrel rate kind of high. But gets the strikeouts, doesn't walk anybody, and has that defense behind him. That works out for me. So Sonny Gray on the mound. And I do have the history between these teams, but we don't have time for that. It'll be Horwitz against Gray here in the bottom of the first. The first pitch is pulled foul, 0-1. So it will be Horwitz, McCutchen, Reynolds, Gonzalez, Cruz, Hayes, Pham, Davis, and IKF. It is the exact same lineup for the Pirates that they had in Game 1. As here's the 0-1 pitch. In there with the curveball, 0-2. That was a great pitch at the bottom of the zone. For the Cardinals, Arenado is going to stay out, and so is Contreras. So it is a very interesting lineup for the Cardinals today. I'll go around the infield after this pitch. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss on a sweeper below the zone. The putout will be made by Pajes, who is behind the plate today. At first base, it is Alec Burleson. Second is Brendan Donovan, with shortstop still being Wynn. Third base today is actually Thomas Saggese, with Fermin in right, Nootbaar in left, and Victor Scott in center. So it's a little bit of an interesting lineup. You have Saggese and Fermin playing the field with Gorman at DH. First pitch to McCutchen is up and in. That's a ball, 1-0. I do think this is a pretty good lineup. This is the best thing you can do with the current roster. There's like 4 guys who are unavailable today, who would have been good if they were available. So this is the best thing you can do. Fastball low and away, missed. It's 2-0 now on Andrew McCutchen. He was absolutely killer against the Cardinals yesterday. Reached base every time against Palante, despite Palante getting every other hitter in the Pirates' order every time he faced him. Here's the 2-0 pitch from Gray to McCutchen. In there for strike one. It's 2-1. McCutchen, a veteran of the game. The 2-1 pitch from Sonny Gray. McCutcheon drives one into right center field. It's cut off by Victor Scott, but that will be a base hit here in the first inning, so McCutcheon stays hot. And so do the Pirates. The Pirates have won 5 straight games. And when I talk about veterans of the game, Sonny Gray is another one of those. You don't have to worry about him freaking out with a man on base. He will be able to focus back in here against Bryan Reynolds. Reynolds with a 702 OPS, 240 batting average this year. First pitch from Gray is just low with the fastball, 1-0. This is going to be game number 82 of the season for Bryan Reynolds. He has 10 home runs in 81 games. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Ground ball, right side. Donovan will go to second for 1, and that's all the Cardinals will get there. So McCutcheon's out at second. Reynolds will be on first base with 2 outs, and that's going to bring up Nick Gonzalez. First pitch in there. Ooh, doesn't get the call with the curveball at the top of the zone. That one was well into the zone. I can't believe it didn't get the call. Either way, it's now 1-0 on Gonzalez. He is getting the start at second base today. He's been pretty good in 25 games this year. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss on a sinker inside, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch from Gray to Gonzalez. Driven in the air to right field. Burleson is back, and he makes a leaping grab at the wall. It was actually Jose Fermin out there. Couldn't really tell based on the angle, but Fermin makes the grab. We go to the top of the second. It is still scoreless. Yep. Not a great jump there from Fermin, but tracked it down. So used to having Burleson out there. It's the same thing as that Arenado ground ball yesterday. I just called it to Arenado when it was actually Gorman in that case. But here we go. There's Gray's numbers. I guess we'll take a look at a couple hitters now. Fermin, definitely need to look at him. Well, he doesn't have a very high sample. But how did yesterday's game affect him? Still have him as a good hitter, according to this season, but he's 4 for 6. So he did get a hit yesterday, but it was that bloop double off the glove of Gonzalez. I can't believe they gave him a double for that. Yeah, he didn't even barrel. He hasn't barreled anything, but somehow he's 4 for 6. Also has a stolen base. This is what he did last year. Squares up the ball. Doesn't strike out a whole ton, but it wasn't very much of a sample. 11 for 71 last year. I believe he was huge for the Cardinals. Well, no, that was the wrong guy, but okay. I mean, he hasn't struck out a lot in any of the seasons, so that's something that seems to be sticky. Hasn't struck out at all this year either. But then after Fermin, it'll be Pajes and Victor Scott. We know all about them. 2 great defensive players. Can grab a base hit for you every now and then. And the game is back. So against Mitch Keller, you're looking for singles. So hopefully Fermin continues his hot start to the year. He's been 4 for 6 so far in the season. The first pitch is taken for strike 1 on the inside part of the plate with the slider. It's 0-1. The 0-1 to Fermin is in there with the sinker on the outside part of the plate, 0-2. So a couple great pitches from Keller. We'll see if Fermin can find that third pitch. The 0-2. Outside with the sweeper, it's 1-2. Fermin is 4 for 6 on the year, has a double as well. The 1-2 pitch, up and in, it is 2-2. Fermin has decent speed. He has the potential to steal a base. That would be really nice in front of Pages and Scott as he fouls off the 2-2 pitch. That was a sinker right down the middle. So Keller up above 20 pitches pretty early in the game. Here's the 2-2 to Fermin. Pulled over to the left side. It's going to be a fair ball down the line. It's going to get all the way into the corner. That one snuck through, and Fermin is going to stop at second with a double. So Fermin sneaks a double into left field. No one expected it to get past that first stopping point by the wall, but it snuck into the corner and played a trick on the Pirates' outfield for extra bases. So Fermin stays hot right down that third base line, and that is going to bring up Pedro Pages. So the man on second and nobody out. Pages drives one into left field, but that one's going to be easily playable for Tommy Pham, and that'll stick Fermin at second. So that blows an opportunity at a potential sac fly. So now we're going to need a base hit to drive in Fermin. So we'll see if Victor Scott can deliver that hit. Fermin, a pretty fast runner at second base. Victor Scott, a really fast runner at the plate, facing Mitch Keller. With one out in the second, the first pitch to Scott is in there with the fastball up and away, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch from Keller is outside with the changeup, 1-1. Victor Scott hitting .245 this year with a .666 OPS. Looking to find a hit here. He could lay down a bunt. Here's the 1-1. Fouled the other way. It is 1-2. All right. Scott settles back in. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Keller to Scott in the second. Chopped foul. It is still 1-2. Okay. So one out with Fermin on second. Another 1-2 pitch. Outside with the curveball. It's 2-2. Good at bat by Victor Scott. The Cardinals are just 1 for 16 in the series with runners in scoring position. It was brutal in the game yesterday. The 2-2 pitch is driven out to the right side, but Gonzalez had him played perfectly, and Scott unable to beat it out. So that puts Fermin over to third, and it was a ground out by Victor Scott. So that will bring up Brendan Donovan with 2 outs and a man on third. Keller about to throw his 30th pitch of the game. And Donovan has a chance to give the Cardinals an early lead. He already has a double in the game. Here's the pitch to Donovan. It is low and in with the fastball, 1-0. You do wonder if they're going to pitch around Donovan a little bit. But that would be risky with Mason Wynn on deck. The 1-0 pitch. Hit in the air to right field. That one sends the right fielder back, but he will make the grab at the track. That was Reynolds for out number 3. So we go to the bottom of the second. It is still scoreless in Pittsburgh. Cardinals have trailed Sorry, I have stranded a runner in both innings so far. Actually, 3 runners in the first and 1 now in the second. So it'll be O'Neill Cruz, Ke'Bryan Hayes, and Tommy Pham. Let's see the defense for Hayes. 12 outs above average, 99th percentile at third. Puts him maybe as the best third baseman in baseball defensively. Pham made a great throw. Let's see if his arm number went up after yesterday's game. Nope. They stuck with -1. So I guess every outfielder is expected to make the throw he made yesterday. And when you look at it, I think that makes sense because Contreras hadn't touched third base yet when Tommy Pham had the ball. So it was a pretty bad send decision at third base by Pop Warner. But it was aggressive, and I did not hate it with Paul Skeens on the mound. It would have been Mason Wynn stepping up to the plate. Would have been a tough at-bat. So you don't blame Pop too much. It was an opportunity to potentially score if Pham didn't have a perfect throw, but he did. So that is what it is. And then obviously O'Neill Cruz, I'll just throw those numbers up. It's just going to be the hardest hit baseballs in baseball. There you go. Also a pretty high walk rate, so those things keep his numbers pretty high. 738 OPS, pretty on par with the last couple seasons. He's a little bit lower than those right now due to this high strikeout rate. If we go back, his strikeout rate was a little bit lower. That makes the difference, especially in 2023. But all right, here we go. Uh-oh, O'Neill Cruz looped one to left field for extra bases. First pitch of the bottom of the second gets jammed the other way for a double. Cardinals had the shift on. He cue-shotted it off the chalk right by the umpire. And due to the Cardinals playing him to pull, there was nobody there to stop that one, and it's a double for O'Neill Cruz. I just got a text that says the Cardinals, oh sorry, not the Cardinals, the Pirates, Marlins, and A's are the hottest teams in baseball. It's kind of crazy. Here's the 1-0 to Ke'Bryan Hayes with O'Neill Cruz on second. Outside with the cutter, 2-0. Sonny Gray has 42 strikeouts to just 5 walks against right-handed hitters this year. Second best ratio in baseball, but he's down 2-0 to Hayes here. The 2-0 pitch catches the top of the zone with the sinker. It's 2-1. Gray delivers the 2-1 pitch to Hayes. Q shot the other way. That one's foul. It's 2-2. So it's Hayes, Pham, and now Davis are the 3 hitters Gray's going to have to face with a man on second. The 2-2 pitch to Ke'Bryan Hayes, defensive third baseman. Got him with the sinker low and away. Perfect pitch, and down goes Ke'Bryan Hayes. Another strikeout against a righty for Gray, and that will bring up Tommy Pham. That sinker came back perfectly into the corner. Tommy Pham, about the same as Hayes this year with a 228 average, a 594 OPS. First pitch from Gray. Just outside with the cutter. 1-0. That was a great frame job by Pajes. Surprised he didn't get the call. Pham has just 2 home runs in 58 games this year, but Cruz is on second. The 1-0 pitch. Instead, Gray disengages. So that is the first disengagement of the at-bat. Pitch 20 of the game for Gray. The 1-0 to Pham. In there, Cruz steals third. That was a slow breaking sweeper, and there was no chance for Pajes to throw out Cruz. The throw was high anyway, and Sajaci made a nice play to keep that one in the infield. So it's a 1-1 count with 1 out. Now O'Neill Cruz on third. The 1-1 pitch to Pham. Swing and a miss on the sweeper. It's 1-2. I like that move from the Pirates' perspective. Cruz has all that speed. The Cardinals were probably not expecting it. You can get that sac fly or ground out RBI here for Pham, and that brought the infield in from the Cardinals. But here's the 1-2 pitch to Pham from Gray. Check swing. Doesn't look like he went. No, he didn't. It's 2-2. But Pham is just 1 for 7 in his career against Gray. No RBIs, 2 strikeouts. So a strikeout here could be massive for the Cardinals. The 2-2 pitch from Gray to Pham. Driven out to left field. That one is down for a base hit, and the Pirates take a 1-0 lead as Pham holds up at first with a base hit. That one was hit hard enough that it wouldn't have mattered whether he stole third. Cruz would have scored from second, and Pham would have had a hit without the infield in, but it helps that he had already stolen third. This one was a hanging sweeper, not Gray's best pitch, and Pham put the barrel on that one. So the man on and 1 out. The first pitch to Henry Davis is a strike with the sinker. It's 0-1. Henry Davis is the catcher for the Pirates. This will be his 40th game of the year. He has a .611 OPS so far this season. The 0-1 pitch from Gray. Swing and a miss on a fastball up and away. It's 0-2. So the Cardinals are down early this time, so hopefully that wakes them up and they can finally drive in some of these runs. The 0-2 pitch from Gray. Instead, he tries a pickoff attempt. Unable to get Pham. Still 0-2. So that is 1 disengagement attempt. The 0-2 pitch from Gray to Henry Davis. Swing and a miss on a sweeper at the bottom of the zone. Down goes Davis, and that's going to bring up IKF. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Hitting .276 this year with a .665 OPS. Also has a homer. Former Yankee shortstop. First pitch from Gray is in there with the curveball, 0-1. IKF does have 1 homer this year. Used to be known as a defensive shortstop, but that has fallen off a little bit as well. Now he's just a high average guy. The 0-1 pitch from Gray. Fastball up and away, popped up, but that one will be into the seats, so it's 0-2. Sonny Gray with 2 strikes likes to go to that sweeper. He throws that 54% of the time to 23% of the sinker. The 0-2. Sinker outside, perfectly placed by Gray for strike 3. So down goes IKF. Gray is one time through the order, but the Pirates did take a 1-0 lead in the second. On that Tommy Pham base hit. So let's see. It's going to be Wynn, Burleson, and Gorman. The heart of the Cardinal order. This is where you really hope to get the lead. Wynn's been an above average hitter this year. Nice low strikeout rate. Great defense over at short. 11 outs above average. They have a 98th percentile with that. So I guess shortstop is just a premium position. All right, we are back. Let's see if the Cardinals can get something going against Mitch Keller. Next Wednesday, the rally chain will be broken out in St. Louis, so go to the game and pick up one of those if you want. First pitch from Keller to Wynn. Swing and a miss on a sweeper outside. It is 0-1. Mason Wynn is 0 for 1 with a strikeout so far today. Was unable to move Donovan over to third in the first. The 0-1 pitch is fouled off on a sweeper outside. It's 0-2. See if Wynn can find this 0-2. The pitch from Keller. Outside with the fastball. 1-2. Wynn has 7 home runs in the season so far. 30 RBIs. The 1-2 from Keller. Got him with the sinker outside. That's the same pitch Gray was using to get those strikeouts. Down goes Wynn. And that will bring up Alec Burleson with 1 out and nobody on. Perfectly placed sinker. Almost nothing you can do with that pitch. But that will bring up Alec Burleson. The first pitch is way upstairs with the fastball, 1-0. Burleson walked his first time up. Mitch Keller now has the most strikeouts in PNC Park history, so that is awesome. The 1-0 pitch is upstairs with the sinker, 2-0. Pitch to Burleson. Right down the middle, driven in the air to right center field. And that one is down, off the wall. Burleson coasting into second, and he is safe. That was a heck of a play by O'Neill Cruz off the wall with the throw back into second base. But Burleson didn't appear to be ready for a close play there. Hopefully he's safe. They are going to say play on. So Burleson with a double. Definitely earned a double with that swing, but boy, was that a close play from O'Neill Cruz with that strong arm. Played it perfectly off the wall, got it on one hop, made a perfect throw to second, and Burleson made a beautiful slide to avoid the tag from Gonzalez. Burleson really earned that double with that slide. The ball did beat him to the bag. But that brings up Nolan Gorman. Here's the first pitch from Keller. Right down the middle, swing and a miss. It is 0-1. Just went straight to the fastball against Gorman there. I'm not sure he'll do that again. Gorman grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up. Now has a man on second with one out. The 0-1 is outside, 1-1. So the Cardinals threatening once again with a runner in scoring position. The 1-1 to Gorman. Upstairs with the fastball, 2-1. I have a good feeling about these next two hitters. It's Gorman right now. Here is the 2-1 pitch from Keller to Gorman. Outside changeup fouled back, 2-2. I think the Cardinals might finally scratch a run across here and get back into a tie game. Keller at 42 pitches on the day through 2 1/3 innings. Here is the 2-2 pitch from Keller to Gorman. Fastball, swing, and a miss. It was the fastball low and in, and Gorman unable to track that one down. So that is strike 3. We go to Lars Nootbaar now with a man on second and 2 outs in the third. Nootbaar came into the game with a 1.071 OPS in his career against Keller. Big chance here. First pitch. Just inside with the curveball. 1-0. If I'm Nootbaar, I'm swinging away. Let's go ahead and pick up a hit here. The 1-0 pitch is low and away, doesn't get the call with the changeup. It is 2-0. They might be being careful with Nootbaar with Thomas Saggese on deck, but we'll find out on this pitch. Here's the 2-0 from Keller to Nootbaar. They go into the zone. He pulls it to second base. It's off the glove of Gonzalez, and it's going to be an infield single for Lars Nootbaar. So that puts runners at the corners with 2 outs for Thomas Saggese. That ball was hit very hard. I thought it might get through. Instead, Gonzalez was right there, but let it sneak off his glove. Yeah, it just ricocheted off the outside of his glove. He was trying to make that play. That could be an error. I would say it probably should be. But it was a hard hit enough ball that they might just give him a hit. Nope, they give him an error. And here's the first pitch to Saggese. In there with the fastball. It's 0-1. So Gonzalez won't sneak out of this series without an error. There is a big hole on the right side of the infield for Saggese here. We'll see if he can find it. The 0-1 pitch. Pulled into the shift. Over at third. And they get Saggese by a step. What a play by the left side of the infield defense there. It was IKF actually ranging over behind Ke'Bryan Hayes for out number 3. That was a miracle play, and Saggese is incredibly frustrated after that one. He strands another couple of base runners. So that will bring up Spencer Horwitz at the top of the Pittsburgh order. That was a heck of a play by IKF. All right. So Sonny Gray is going to take the mound again, still trailing 1-0. Pretty bad luck for the Cardinals hitters over the last couple games. Every single time they get something going, gets taken off the table. I wonder if Sajacy stumbled out of the box or something like that, because he seemed really frustrated after being thrown out there. It must have just been because he got some pretty solid contact and thought it was going to sneak through, but it didn't. So here's the first pitch to Horwitz. In there with the fastball, 0-1. That was the 30th pitch of the day for Sonny Gray. Another first pitch strike against Horwitz. The 0-1. Chopped over to second base. Donovan is there. Makes the play to Burleson. 4-out number 1. That run that Sonny Gray gave up to the Pirates was at the very least his first run he'd given up in at least 10 innings. And it was very close regardless. But here is Andrew McCutchen, the first pitch from Gray. Upstairs with the fastball, 1-0. McCutchen's been on fire in this series. Hasn't been retired since the first game of the series. The 1-0 pitch to McCutchen. Up and in, fouled back, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch from Gray to McCutchen. Low and away with the cutter, 2-1. McCutchen has a lot of experience under his belt, also wears number 22 on his belt, but all of that experience allows him to recognize these pitches from Sonny Gray. The 2-1, up and in, sinker, popped up and out of play. Burleson unable to make a play at the net. I like the attempt, but it is 2-2. So a lot of the luck that the Cardinals had going on their winning streak just seems to have disappeared, as that one ricocheted off the net and Burleson was unable to make the play. So with a 2-2 count and 1 out, nobody on in the bottom of the third. McCutchen digs back in. Gray is set. Here's the 2-2. Ground ball up the middle. Wynn ranges over and makes the play. And finally, the Cardinals get McCutchen out for out number 2. Cardinals really need a win today to salvage this series and the whole road trip. They lose this, they just split the road trip. You really would strongly prefer with the Pirates and Guardians to go 4-2 in those 6 games. If you look at it like that, I think it's a successful road trip. Just got to get a win today. Inside out swing on the sinker, fly ball into left field. Ball is caught by Nootbaar for the 3rd out of the 3rd. So we go to the 4th. It is still 1-0 Pirates. Fermin is due up first. I do want to see where Victor Scott stands right now, so I will do that. Yep, 12 outs above average, 30.2 feet per second, so he's running even faster. Great launch angle. Average walk rate. You know, a little bit below average as a hitter, but not too far off. And it's definitely worth it for that defense. I'm going to pull out the random word generator here. I think we've hit that point. Lineage? I mean, I guess. Victor Scott the second, you know. Wow, there you go. Second. That's crazy. Okay. First pitch to Fermin is a ground ball on the curveball. Went straight to third base. The play was made by Hayes for out number 1. So Fermin is down on just one pitch, and that will bring up Pedro Pajes. Pajes calls time, probably just to make sure Keller doesn't get through this inning too quickly. One pitch, one out is never something you want to have happen. It's going to be the 50th pitch of the day for Keller. First one to Pajes here in the 4th. The pitch is outside with the fastball 1-0. See if Pajes can rally back, get a nice long at-bat here. The 1-0 pitch. Up and away with the fastball 2-0. Two-0 pitch from Keller. Inside, fouled back, 2-1. Two-one pitch to Pajes. Up and in, fouled back, 2-2. So a long at-bat so far. We'll see if Pajes can continue to foul off some pitches. 2-2 pitch from Keller. Outside with the sinker. He was trying to bring it back in, but missed way outside. It's 3-2. So now he's got to make a safe pitch with Victor Scott standing on deck. The 3-2 is grounded up the middle. Pajes found a hole. It's a base hit up the middle for Pajes. So one man on with one out in the 4th. That will bring up Victor Scott. That pitch was outside of the zone. The sweeper, Pajes reached out, put the barrel on it, and gently found the hole. Put it on the ground, but nobody was able to reach it. So with one man on and one out, the first pitch to Victor Scott is driven out to left field. But Pham ranges over and makes the grab for out number 2. So it's going to be Pajes on first with 2 outs and Brendan Donovan at the plate. With Donovan up here, you almost want him to swing for the fences here, as it's unlikely Pajes is going to score from first in any case. But here's the first pitch. Fastball missed upstairs. It's 1-0. Donovan 1 for 2 with a double back in the first. The 1-0 pitch. Ground ball foul, 1-1. Donovan hitting .295 on the season. One of the highest batting averages in baseball, or at least in the NL. OPS at .792. The 1-1 pitch from Keller to Donovan. Fouled back on the fastball above the zone, 1-2. Keller is ready. 60th pitch of the day for him. The 1-2. Low and away with the curveball. 2-2. So So it's Pajes on first, 2-2 count on Donovan. Let's see if he can drive one here. Keller is set. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Chopped foul, still 2-2. Donovan's ready again. 2-2 pitch from Keller. Reaches out and pokes that one foul. Still 2-2. Great at bat by Donovan. Donovan has 6 homers on the year. Now would be a great time for another one of those, but he could also just pick up a base hit. Another 2-2 from Keller to Donovan. Upstairs, gets the call. That one was above the zone. Donovan can't believe it. And he gives some words to the umpire. I agree with Donovan. I think you have to. You have to voice your frustration on that pitch. It was above the zone. Can't have that. And we go to the bottom of the first. Sorry. See, I'm distracted by that pitch. But bottom of the fourth, it's 1-0 Pirates. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. First pitch of the bottom of the fourth is low and away with the cutter, 1-0 to Nick Gonzalez. The 1-0 pitch from Gray. Up and in, check swing, ground ball back to the mound. Gray turns and throws, out number 1. So that's going to bring up O'Neal Cruz. Cruz scored the only run of the game so far for the Pirates. That was back in the second inning. He is 1 for 1 in the game today. Had a double on a cue shot over to the left field side. Pretty lucky contact by him, if we're being completely honest. Was able to steal third and then score on the Tommy Pham base hit. It's probably some of his softest contact of the year. It's a cue shot it off the end of the bat, but it hit the chalk, and that was a double. Can't blame him for keeping it fair. The first pitch from Gray. Gets the call on the sinker below the zone. It's 0-1. Cruz hitting just .212, but has a .746 OPS. Well above league average. The 0-1 catches the outside corner with the curveball, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch from Gray. Fouled back on the sinker, up and away. Still 0-2. That was a great pitch by Gray, but I think Cruz just has too long of arms to throw that pitch and get it by him. So maybe they'll go to the bottom of the zone again here. The 0-2 pitch to Cruz. They do go below the zone with the sweeper, but he doesn't chase. It's 1-2. The 1-2 pitch to Cruz, driven in the air to right center field. That one's going to be back and caught right at the track by Jose Fermin for out number 2. He hit it high in the air. It was in right field. They have that shorter porch out there, and I thought maybe it might get there, but just skied it just a little too much. So that's good news for the Cardinals. 2 outs. It's going to bring up Ke'Bryan Hayes. First pitch to Hayes, swing and a miss on a fastball up and in. It's 0-1. The 0-1 swing and a miss on a sweeper below the zone. It's 0-2 now on Hayes. So Gray has settled in nicely. He's thrown just 46 pitches. It's the 4th inning. He has 2 outs in this inning. The 0-2 pitch to Ke'Bryan Hayes. Low and away with the sweeper, 1-2. I think they threw that one because he got him with the sinker outside last time. So they thought maybe Hayes would swing at that due to expecting the sinker. But he didn't. He recognized the sweeper. So Gray will have to come up with something else. The 1-2 pitch to Hayes. Swing and a miss on the sweeper, low and away. They went right back to it. That time they got him. And we go to the 5th. It is still 1-0 Pittsburgh. It's going to be Wynn, Burleson, and Gorman. All right, let's see. Wynn, Burleson, Gorman. I like that. Gorman has that power, so does Burleson. They could also just pick up a few base hits and get a rally going. Wynn has been half of the strikeouts for Keller today. It's going to be the Cubs next, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So the Cardinals have the day off tomorrow prior to traveling at Wrigley. As Wynn cues one over to shortstop, easy play for IKF. He makes a high throw, but still gets Wynn by a step for out number 1. So Wynn is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. It's going to bring up Alec Burleson. Burleson's been great today. He's 1 for 1 with a walk. Reached base both times. First pitch from Keller to Burley is low and in with the fastball, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch is upstairs, 2-0. So Burleson ahead in the count here. Maybe a big chance to take a big swing here in the 5th. The 2-0 pitch right down the middle, pulled over to second base, and Gonzalez will make the play. So a 2-0 count goes to waste. We go to Nolan Gorman now, with the bases empty and 2 outs in the 5th. Outside curveball, 1-0. Gorman getting ready. He is 0 for 2, the 1-0. Swing and a miss on a changeup low and away. 1-1. Hoping to see the fastball there from Keller, but a good changeup. This is going to be the 70th pitch of the day for Keller. Here it is. Swing and a miss on a fastball, up and away that time, 1-2. It's a really tough pitch for Gorman to go out and get. He might want to step closer to the plate against Keller, it seems. The 1-2 pitch to Gorman. Fastball up and away, fouled off, still 1-2. Keller continues to shake off his catcher and ask for the fastball here, which is interesting. That's the pitch I would least want to throw to Gorman. Here's the 1-2 from Keller. Swing and a miss on a fastball above the zone. I understand what they were going for now. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It is 1-0 Pirates. You go up out of the zone, that is something you can throw to Gorman, obviously. So that's unfortunate. It's going to be, let's find out. Pham, Davis, and IKF. Gray has settled in really, really well. I guess I'd rather probably look at Henry Davis's stats, to be honest. .611 OPS, 4 homers, .204 average. 86.6 average exit velo. So yeah, not a whole lot going his way. Does have a decent launch angle. Let's see how these guys have been doing against Gray. Against Gray in their careers, a couple guys have been good. That's Gonzalez and Reynolds. Cruz now has probably a pretty good resume against him. But Pham, Davis, and IKF have not been great, nor has Horwitz. So the next 4 hitters for the Pirates, not likely to do a whole lot this inning. Sonny Gray pitching to Tommy Pham. The first pitch to Pham. Outside with the fastball, 1-0. Pham has been pretty good today. He's 1 for 1 with an RBI single. Drove in the only run of the game. 1-0 pitch from Gray is the 50th of the day for him. Ground ball up the middle. Donovan ranges over, makes the play for out number 1. First pitch to Davis misses low and away. It's 1-0. Henry Davis today is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Gray's been really effective with the sweeper and the sinker. The 1-0 pitch. Chopped in the air over behind the plate. 1-1. It's one of those tough angles to figure out the direction on. Looks like there's a doubleheader going on in Washington. There's also a doubleheader in Boston today. The Reds already lost the first game of that, 2-1. First pitch now from Gray to Davis. Sorry, that was the third pitch. It's 1-2. Oh my goodness. Okay. The 1-2 pitch from Gray to Davis. Chopped over to third base. So JC's there and makes the throw to first for out number 2. This Cardinals offense has looked almost there, basically, all series. They continue to put base runners on, but just don't have the guys to clean up the base paths. And those guys have been Arenado, they've been Herrera, it's been Contreras, and none of those guys are in the lineup right now. So these other guys are going to have to step up. First pitch to IKF is up and away, 1-0. On this side of the ball, Gray's been great. 55 pitches, just 1 run allowed. Bottom of the 5th inning with 2 outs. The 1-0 pitch to IKF. Up and in, looped out to right field. But a running grab is made by Brendan Donovan. Great play by Donovan. We go to the 6th. It is still 1-0 Pirates. Nootbaar, Sajasi, and Fermin. Let's see where Nootbaar stands. He's drawn a lot of walks, but not making a whole lot of contact recently. 710 OPS. Walk rate 90th percentile, 13%. So the on base should be solid, but it hasn't been too good recently. Alex Verdugo was DFA'd by the Braves. So that's an interesting loss. But we are back, so we're going to watch Nootbaar here. First pitch to Nootbaar, caught the lower outside corner. 0-1, that was a great fastball. 4th of July weekend coming up this upcoming weekend. Ground ball for Nootbaar. That one playable at short for IKF. He'll make the play for out number 1. That was a great play at short. So Nootbaar will now fall to 1 for 2 on the day. It's going to bring up Thomas Sajaci. First pitch strike to Sajaci was a fastball up and in. And it's 0-1 with 1 out and nobody on in the 6th. The 0-1 pitch is right down the middle with the fastball, 0-2. So Sajaci's seen a couple now. The 0-2 pitch, right down the middle, fouled off again. So it's still 0-2. Sajaci is 0 for 2 so far today. Couple of groundouts in huge spots. He's left 5 base runners on in this one. The 0-2 pitch from Keller. Up and away with the fastball, 1-2. Sajaci does have a homer this year. The 1-2 pitch. Pulled over to third, but a great play by Hayes to grab that one for another ground out. So JC drops his armband. He's going to have to pick that up, but 2 outs. Nobody on. That's going to bring up Jose Fermin. Fermin has a double in the game today. First pitch is in there with the fastball, 0-1. He was able to take the sweeper and pull it down that left field line. Back when he had the double. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Sinker caught the lower inside corner, perfectly placed by Keller for strike 2. Keller having a great inning here in the 6th. This is pitch 82 of the day from Keller. Outside with the sweeper, 1-2. So he has at least one more inning in him if he can get out of this with just the next couple of pitches. The 1-2 pitch to Fermin. Hanging sweeper, driven in the air to left field. But he did not get it, and Pham will make the grab right in front of the track for out number 3. So that one should have been crushed by Fermin, but he just missed it, and we go to the bottom of the 6th. It's still 1-0. Will be the top of the Pirates order. We expect Gray to still be in. Horwitz with a great launch angle. He is a guy I expect to have the numbers rise back up to kind of where they were in 2023. Although the strikeout rate's getting high, so that's probably pulling everything down. Yeah, that's the problem. 2023, the strikeout rate was 27, though. This year, it's just 24. So I do think he's a candidate for improvement, but maybe not as much as they need. Only 2 homers on the year. Ah, gosh darn. All right, whatever. The game's going to be back I'm going to have to wait for it to load because it didn't work. Game should be coming. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's live it up. There we go. All right, so the Pirates lead 1-0. Cardinals still yet to put a run on the board. They've out-hit the Pirates by a ton over the last couple games, but just can't scratch a run across. So Sonny Gray is going to have to go to work again in the 6th. He's at just 56 pitches. He could go all 9 if he continues at this pace. First pitch to Horwitz is up and away with the changeup, 1-0. Horwitz is 0 for 2 so far in the game today. 1 strikeout. The 1-0 pitch. Got the call with the curveball below the zone. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch from Gray to Horwitz. Ground ball, foul, 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Horwitz. Upstairs with the fastball, 2-2. Two-two pitch. Outside curveball driven out to left field. That one is back and caught. Great run by Victor Scott to make the grab in left center for out number 1. That one was smoked into the left center field gap, and Scott, probably the only guy to run it down. Well, okay, there are a few guys who could run that down, but good jump by Scott. First pitch from Gray to McCutcheon with 1 out and nobody on. Ground ball up the middle. Donovan ranges over and makes the play for out number 2. So it's going to bring up Brian Reynolds as Gray stays efficient. Gray has been outstanding in this game, but just gave up a couple hits at the wrong time. He has 5 strikeouts in 5 2/3 innings, and he looks to continue to stay efficient. He's only thrown 62 pitches. Could go really deep into this one. The pitch, right down the middle, ground ball over to second base. Donovan makes the flip, and we go to the top of the 7th. Really quick 1-2-3 inning by Gray there. Pirates still lead 1-0. So it's going to be Pajes, Scott, and Donovan. Donovan's numbers are the ones I'm leaving up. All right, I'll be back in a minute. All right, I'm back. Let's see. Yep, Pajes at the plate. It's 0-1. Pedro Pajes is 1 for 2. Yet to strike out in this one. We'll see if he can find another hole. Had a base hit through the hole his last time up. Sinker missed up and in. It's 1-1. He just pulled it to where a shortstop would normally play, and they had left that spot open, playing him to pull. The 1-1. Right down the middle with the fastball, 1-2. One-two pitch from Keller. Perfectly placed sinker outside. Down goes Pajes for out number 1. Keller's been great today. That was pitch number 87. He's looking to go 7 innings scoreless in this one. But right now he has to face Victor Scott after a beautiful sinker to get Pajes. Fastball missed low and in. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch to Scott. Low and in again. 2-0. Keller at 89 pitches in this ball game. That should be enough that this will be his last inning. The 2-0 pitch is driven the other way, out of play, 2-1. Although both teams have a day off tomorrow, I think, so maybe Keller could just go an extra couple, although that's only going to affect them in 5 days. So probably not. Keller's probably going to be done after this inning. The 2-1 pitch to Scott. Fastball up and away, driven in the air to left center. But back is Pham, who makes the grab right in front of the track for out number 2. So good play by Tommy Pham there to prevent extra bases. That's going to bring up Brendan Donovan. Wynn has struggled a ton against Keller, so you wonder if they'll leave him in to face Wynn if they're able to get Donovan quickly. Pitch 92, the first to Donovan, low and away, fouled off, 0-1. The other issue is, it is Burleson, Gorman, and Nootbaar all in a row, 3-4-5. So if Donovan reaches, as it's 1-1, that was a fastball missed inside. If Donovan reaches and Wynn goes down, it'll be Burleson, Gorman, Nootbaar due up in the 8th, which is not what you're looking for. The 1-1 is up and away with the fastball, 2-1. Pirates getting a righty ready. I don't understand that, to be honest. Maybe they have no lefties available. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Keller. Outside, 3-1. So Donovan ahead in the count. The 3-1 pitch in there with the sinker perfectly placed low and in. It's 3-2. So Keller not done yet. This next pitch is going to be number 97. And it's a full count pitch to Donovan. Donovan already has a double in this game. Looking for something to hit. All bets are off. The 3-2. Swing and a miss on a slider low and in. Down goes Donovan and Keller is finished. 7 scoreless innings from him. He was incredible. The Cardinals stranded a lot of base runners, though. So that is what it is. Gonzalez, Cruz, and Hayes are due up for the Pirates. This man scored the 1 run for the Pirates in the game today. Oh my goodness gracious. So Sonny Gray, wow. And he could really go at least all 8, but hopefully all 9 innings. They might get Helsley ready. But I think Gray might be a better closer than Helsley if he stays rolling like this. It's only if the Cardinals can score in the 8th or the 9th anyway. All right, Nick Gonzalez getting ready. Sonny Gray on the mound. He's thrown 63 pitches, but took a pitch clock violation for ball 1. Pitch to Gonzalez is outside with the cutter, 2-0. Gonzalez is 0 for 2 in the game today, is yet to strike out, so a couple of balls in play. The 2-0. Low and away with the sinker, it's 3-0. Gray pitching in the 7th with under 70 pitches. The 3-0 pitch to Gonzalez. In there with the fastball, 3-1. Definitely going to want to keep attacking the zone here. Gonzalez does have 3 homers on the year. And O'Neill Cruz is waiting on the deck. Sorry, on deck. The Pirate deck. 3-1 pitch up and in with the fastball for a strike. It is 3-2 now on Gonzalez. He was trying to draw a walk, act like that wasn't in the zone, but it was. So the count is now full. Gray is ready. The 3-2 pitch to Gonzalez. Up and in with the sinker. And Gonzalez draws a walk. So 1 man on with nobody out for O'Neill Cruz here in the 7th. Cruz is 1 for 2. Had a squib double down the left field line. We'll see if some of that hard contact can translate into a couple of outs here. Cardinals are going to play him to pull. So O'Neill Cruz at the plate, time called by Pajes. It's the first disengagement, I guess. Cruz is 1 for 2. First pitch from Gray to Cruz in the 7th. Outside with the changeup, 1-0. Nick Gonzalez is standing on first base. Let's find out if he steals bases. Gonzalez has 0 stolen bases on the year. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Cruz. In there with the curveball, 1-1. So I guess there's nothing to worry about with that disengagement. And a ground ball could easily be a couple of outs here. The 71st pitch of the game for Gray, the 1-1, misses inside with the curveball, 2-1. Two-one pitch, swing and a miss on a sinker right down the middle. Cruz somehow swung under that, and it's 2-2. So that's a little bit frightening. Seemed like Cruz recognized that pitch pretty well, but was under it. He's grounded into 5 double plays on 48 opportunities this season. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Gray. Missed outside with the fastball. The count is now full. Cardinals trying to stay in this game. They trail 1-0 in the 7th. Ke'Bryan Hayes is waiting on deck. Count is full on O'Neal Cruz. The 3-2 pitch. Got him with the curveball at the bottom of the zone. Down goes O'Neal Cruz. That one was in the zone. Cruz can't complain about that exact call. So 1 out with 1 man on for Ke'Bryan Hayes. Perfect pitch by Gray. First pitch to Ke'Bryan Hayes. In there with the sinker, 0-1. That one was on that outside part of the plate again. Spotting those up all day was Sonny Gray. And he still is. He's at 75 pitches. Here's a pickoff attempt. Ooh, they almost got Nick Gonzalez there. Still 0-1. Gray threw his most pitches in the 2nd inning with 17. Other than that, it's been 12 or less until this inning. This is going to be pitch 13 of the inning in the 7th. The 0-1 to Hayes is chopped the other way. That one's going to be a base hit, and Fermin's going to make the throw to third. But Gonzalez able to go first to third regardless, and there's runners at the corners with just 1 out in the 7th. The runners at the corners, it's going to be Tommy Pham at the plate. He's already driven in a run today. Cardinals looking for a couple of outs here. They might bring in the corners to make sure the run doesn't score. They are not going to do that. They're going to hold the runner on. First pitch from Gray to Pham is outside with the sinker, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch, ground ball. Into the outfield for a base hit. Tommy Pham drives in another run. It is 2-0 Pirates. So Pham has come up clutch a couple of times. Gonzalez scores a run. And it is 2-0. So that's going to bring up Henry Davis. The pitch to Pham was just a fastball, middle bottom of the zone. Pulled into that third base shortstop gap. Nobody even had a chance to get to that one. And it's 2-0 Pirates. So 2 men on and 1 out. Pajes going out to talk with Gray. As Riley O'Brien's getting ready in the bullpen. And Marmol's going to come out. Is that going to be it? I think Gray still looks pretty good, but Marmol's going to take the ball from him, so a good outing from Gray, not great. 6 1/3 innings, 2 earned runs. Can't complain about it, but I thought he could have kept going. So 2 men on for Riley O'Brien now, with Henry Davis coming up to the plate. O'Brien with a 2.25 ERA, 13 strikeouts in 16 innings. That's a pretty low strikeout rate. Also has a pretty high walk rate. So we're looking for that ground ball. He has a 52.5% ground ball percentage. Soft contact generally. That would come in handy here. All right, O'Brien's in the game. The first pitch to Davis is a ground ball right back off the mound. Donovan's going to play that one on a hop and get the out at first. So it moves the runners over to second and third, and that's going to bring up IKF. So 2 outs, 2 men in scoring position. IKF, the 9-hitter, at the plate. He is 0 for 2 with a strikeout in the game today. The Pirates are 8 for 18 with runners in scoring position in this series, and that's been the difference. The Cardinals are 2 for 22. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. Foul, 0-1. It's just a 2-run deficit, though, so if O'Brien can stop it right here, Cardinals could be in good shape. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss on a curveball low and away. It's 0-2. The 0-2 pitch, low and away, didn't get the chase. It's 1-2. The 1-2 from O'Brien to IKF. Low and away again with the curveball. It's 2-2. IKF is 3 for 20 this year with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Big at-bat in the game here. We'll see if O'Brien can send him down and give the Cardinals a chance in the next couple innings. The 0-2 is driven up the middle. That's a base hit. 1 run's going to come in to score. So will another. Tommy Pham comes around, and it is 4-0 Pirates in the 7th. Fastball right down the middle, driven right back up the middle. Both runs come in to score. And now it's going to be a whole lot tougher. First pitch to Horwitz bounces away from Pajes. He can't find it, and the runner advances to second. The 1-0 pitch. Low and in, grounded foul, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch to Horwitz. Fouled back, 1-2. Ground ball. Through for another base hit by Horwitz. Run's going to come in to score, and it is 5-0 Pirates in the 7th. Disastrous inning for Riley O'Brien. Let a few runs score in the 7th. One of those earned on him. A couple of those charged to Sonny Gray, who he probably doesn't deserve, but that's unfortunate for everybody. It's 5-0 Pirates. It's going to be a tough one to come back from here. It's going to bring up Andrew McCutchen, who's been great this series for the Pirates. First pitch from O'Brien to McCutchen. He is low with the sinker, 1-0. The 2-1 pitch to McCutchen. Swing and a miss on a sinker low and in. It is 2-2. I don't quite understand going to Riley O'Brien with a day off tomorrow. You might as well just go Helsley in that spot. You have the day off tomorrow. Here's the 2-2. It's low and away. Good stop by Pajes. 3-2. The All-Star break's not too far away. A lot of good players available who like to get just a couple of outs. O'Brien's used to pitching very long outings, starting at the beginning of an inning. Why would you put him in with base runners on? I would have left Gray in. That's what I said at the time, and I stand by that. But if you're going to the bullpen, is O'Brien the guy? In a close game, I don't think he is. But guess Marmol has to see it for himself. So, I mean, he had been good this season. I'm not going to blame Marmol too much for this, but now we've seen it. So that's what O'Brien can do in a close game at times. And I'd prefer he stay in the long reliever role. Because you have a day off tomorrow, so it's not like it's going to kill you to put in one of the good pitchers when you're only trailing by a run. Now you're down by 5. Or a couple of runs, I guess, when O'Brien came in. First pitch to Reynolds is in there for a strike with the slider. It's 0-1. Fastball outside at 100 miles an hour, fouled back. It's 0-2 now on Reynolds. The 0-2 from O'Brien to Reynolds. in there, but doesn't get the call. Back pick attempt at second. Doesn't get the call there either. So Pajes probably should have just framed up that strike because it was a strike, but didn't get the call. So it's 1-2, 2 men on. Today, with runners in scoring position, the Pirates are 4 for 6. The Cardinals are 1 for 9. That has been the trend all series. The Cardinals could still come back, but it would be really tough in these last couple innings. The 1-2 pitch gets the swing and the miss on a curveball. Down goes Reynolds. He's 0 for 4. We go to the 8th. The Pirates lead 5-0. All right, so let's see who's coming in. So yesterday's game, well, let's see. Ferguson pitched. Cabrera did not pitch, so they do have a lefty available. I think that would be a great choice for them here. But if the Cardinals drew a couple walks, that would be risky for them. I think we saw Ashcraft getting ready. So I am going to pull up Ashcraft. Is that the guy who was... I think it might have been. Okay, 1.56 ERA. He's only thrown 17 in the third innings. Ground ball rate at 55.8%. Yeah, he doesn't walk a whole lot of guys. I think this is who I would go to if I were them here. Because you don't need a strikeout when you're up by 5. You just need to not walk everybody. So, that's... With Cabrera, they could walk everybody and blow the lead. So, kind of hope they go to Genesis Cabrera. They will not. They'll go to number 50. 60, I mean. Santana. So, not who I was expecting. Dennis Santana. Was he available? Oh, he was suspended over the last 3 games, so now he's back. So that makes sense. Pitched on Saturday. Oh, my bad. There's Santana. He's been great for them. Very low walk rate. Perfect. So there you go. That is who you go to here. Yeah. High ground ball rate. Huge, like very, very low walk rate. And very soft contact. So I don't know what you do against him. Just have to work good at bats. And it's 0-2 on win. I don't even know what happened. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Santana to win in the 8th. Chops this one into the air. That one's going to be easily playable in center for Cruz, who will make the grab for out number 1. The pitch to Burleson is in there for a strike. It is 0-1. Burleson is 1 for 2 in the game today. Has a walk. As the second pitch hits the dirt, it's 1-1. So Burleson's reached in 2 out of the 3 times he's come up to the plate. One of the only bright spots of the day for the Cardinals today. Along with Nootbaar, who's also done the same. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Santana. Fouled back, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch is just below the zone, 2-2. That was a slider. Tried to pick the corner, but just missed. So hopefully Burleson could take advantage of that. Two-two pitch inside 3-2. So Santana pitching right around the zone. Burleson with a few great takes. Has worked a full count. Base runners are what it takes against Santana here in the 8th. Try to rally back into this one. Here's the 3-2 from Santana. Chopped foul, still 3-2. Three-two pitch from Santana to Burley. Low, and that is ball 4. So Burleson draws another walk. He's reached in 3 out of 4 plate appearances today. That's going to bring up Nolan Gorman. Gorman having a rough game today. He's 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. The strikeout rate climbing once again for him. Hopefully he can lock back in. Been seeing a lot of high fastballs from the Pirates. First pitch, right down the middle with the fastball, 0-1. This is a big chance for the Cardinals to get back into it. This is the heart of the order. The 0-1 pitch from Santana. Fastball outside, fouled back. It's 0-2. With Gorman and Nootbaar up. Gorman now, obviously Nootbaar on deck. You have those power bats against the right-handed pitcher. If you can get Gorman on somehow and Nootbaar crush one, then maybe you're back into it. But here's the 0-2 pitch from Santana to Gorman. Up and away, hit in the air to left field, but that one's going to be playable for Pham, who makes the grab for out number 2. Burleson thought it might be extra bases. He had to range all the way back to first. So with one on and 2 outs in the 8th, it's going to bring up Lars Nootbaar. He has a hit by pitch and a base hit, so he's reached base in 2 out of the 3 plate appearances as well. The pitch from Santana to Newt is in there with the slider. It's 0-1. See if the Cardinals can avoid being shut out for the 3rd straight game. Trailing 5-0. The 0-1 pitch from Santana to Nootbaar with Burleson on first. Up and away with the fastball, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch to Nootbaar. Fastball at the bottom of the zone, but it's popped up. Easily playable in foul territory. Caught by Hayes, and we go to the bottom of the 8th. Still 5-0. Pirates. So O'Brien's probably going to stay in the game against Gonzalez, Cruz, and Hayes. Those are the guys that beat us in the 7th. All right, wow. Beautiful view at PNC Park, but Cardinals are trailing 5-0 to Nick Gonzalez, O'Neill Cruz, Ke'Bryan Hayes, and the Pirates. Those three are due up here. Kyle Leahy coming in the game finally. He's going to face those three. The first pitch to Gonzalez is upstairs 1-0. Second pitch, a slider at the bottom of the zone for a strike. It's 1-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Ground ball, right side, base hit for Gonzalez. So one man on with nobody out. It's going to bring up O'Neill Cruz. First pitch to Cruz from Leahy is a curveball in there for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch to Cruz is low with the changeup, 1-1. So Nick Gonzalez on first. Pirates lead 5-0. Nobody out. One man on. 1-1 count. Pirates lead 5-0. We'll see if Leahy can try to work a scoreless inning. The 1-1 is right down the middle with the changeup, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss on a curveball below the zone. Down goes O'Neill Cruz, and that's going to bring up Ke'Bryan Hayes. First pitch to Hayes is in there with the slider. It's 0-1. You know, the key issue for the Cardinals in these games is pretty obvious. It's that the right-handed hitters are all injured, so you can bring in lefty specialists, pitch to them. Yes, here's a swing and a miss by Hayes on a fastball up and in. It's 0-2. So when you have a lefty specialist on the mound and you're facing Burleson, Gorman, Nootbaar all in a row, with, Donovan at the top of the order as well. So out of the first 5, there's just Wynn as a righty. Makes it really easy to strategize. And yesterday was Hampson as the righty, along with Mason Wynn. Those guys just aren't going to get it done. That's why you need Arenado, you need Contreras, and of course, you need Ivan Herrera, who's been the missing piece of late. The 0-2 pitch, driven in the air to center field. Very deep, but Victor Scott ranges back to the track and makes the catch for out number 2. So Leahy's done all right here. 12 pitches, 2 outs recorded, only 1 hit allowed to Gonzalez. And that will bring up Tommy Pham. Pham's had a great day today. 2 for 3 with a couple of RBIs. He's driven in 2 out of 5. Fastball in there for strike 1. The 0-1 pitch from Leahy to Pham popped up and into the seats, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch now from Leahy to Pham. Outside with the sweeper 1-2. See if Leahy has a good put-away pitch for Pham. The 1-2. Swing and a miss on a curveball below the zone. Down goes Pham, and Leahy has a great inning. Just the one hit allowed. Scoreless inning. It's 5-0 Pirates. Sajaci, Fermin, and Pages due up. Ugh. Okay, it would have to be a miracle inning if the Cardinals are going to come back here. Let's go ahead and take a look at what it might look like. It's going to be Matson back in the game for the Pirates, so we'll go ahead and grab his numbers for the year. I believe he looked pretty good yesterday. I don't think they used him. Well, no, they did. Yeah, he was pretty good. Just a 1.72 ERA, 0.7 whip, 16 strikeouts and 15 2/3. Does give up a lot of balls in the air. About average contact. And last year had a high walk rate. Still a high ground ball rate last year. So there's nothing consistent about last year's stats compared to this year's, but does strike out hitters. And allows soft contact, so we'll see what happens. Thomas Sajaci against Matson here. Looking for base runners. First pitch up and in, missed. It is 1-0. The 1-0, right down the middle for a strike, 1-1. You just need base runners. It's the 9th inning. Sajaci, Fermin, Pages, Scott. All of those guys should just be trying to get on base. You're down by 5. The 1-1. Swing and a miss on the 93-mile-an-hour fastball at the top of the zone, 1-2. Matson's stuff looks like it has ride, like also has some sort of deceptive effect. As it appears faster than 93 when he is pitching, and it seems to just fly out of his hand right past Sajaci. The 1-2 pitch from Matson to Sajaci. Driven the other way out to right field, but it's going to be caught by Reynolds for out number 1. So Sajaci goes 0 for 4. Strands a lot of base runners in the game. That's one he's going to want to forget. Put the ball in play every time, but it was a few ground outs and a fly out to right. Wynn, Gorman, and Sajaci, those 2-4-6 hitters, were killing the Cardinals today. Wynn and Gorman with 2 strikeouts apiece, a combined 0 for 12. Fermin put one in there. Sorry. Matson put one in there against Fermin for strike number 1. Fermin is 1 for 3 in the game today. Had a double down the left field line. The 0-1 pitch, right down the middle, fouled off, 0-2. Matson's doing a great job just attacking the zone. That's the strategy when you're up by 5. Base runners will kill you in the 9th, so if you have a guy who won't walk anybody, that's the guy to go to. And now Fermin can do nothing but foul off pitches and look for one to hit. The 0-2, swing and a miss on a changeup low and in. Down goes Fermin, and the Pirates are 1 out away from a sweep of the Cardinals. The Cardinals need their right-handed hitters back in the lineup. You can see the difference it's making. They're going to be scoreless over this entire series. But Joel Pozo is going to pinch hit for Pedro Pajes here in the 9th. So it's going to come down to Pozo versus Matson. Pozo reaches, it'll be Scott, Donovan, Wynn, Burleson. The pitch from Matson to Pozo is fouled off, 0-1. Pirates fans on their feet. One of them brought a broom to the game. Try to signify the sweep. I don't know if the Cardinals have been swept there in a long time, but it doesn't look good here. The 0-1 pitch. Up and away, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Fouled back, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Pulled over fair for a base hit down the third base line. That's a base hit for Pozo. And the Cardinals are still alive. Pozo's been elite with the bat coming off the bench. Great pinch hitter. Another hit for Pozo off the bench. 1 man on with 2 outs. And that's going to bring up Victor Scott II. The pitch to Scott is up and away. That is a ball, 1-0. One thing I've kind of noticed is Pozo is one of the better right-handed hitters that we have available. And in this lineup, you really could have used it. Could have probably put Sajaci on the bench for this one, as that pitch doesn't get the call. It's 2-0. Could have probably had Sajaci on the bench. Could have had Pozo at DH with Gorman at third. And then you'd have a more balanced lineup, right? I mean, I guess it just depends whether you think Sajaci's a better hitter than Pozo, but I think it's been established at this point that Pozo's a pretty good at bat every time he comes up to the plate. Very low strikeout rate. Puts the ball in play, and that's what you need when you have all those base runners on. Especially with all the base hits Pozo has. I mean, he could have driven in 4 runs today. But that's just a lesson that we can take for the second half of the year. The 2-0 pitch is outside, 3-0 on Scott. So we can take that one for the future. Remember that Pozo can play DH. You can have Pajes and Pozo in the same order. I think it wouldn't be a bad idea. Especially, well, really only when you have Contreras, Herrera, and Arenado all out. In that exact circumstance, Pozo's the guy, the right-handed bat you want to add to the order. The 3-1 pitch from Matson to Scott. Down the middle, popped foul, it's 3-2. That being said, Sajaci at third base is probably a better defensive piece than Gorman. So for that reason, you could see an argument. And Sajaci also put the ball in play all 4 times today. But it just didn't work out for him. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Scott in the 9th. Up and away, and that is ball 4. So we're going to see Brendan Donovan again today. Donovan's 1 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. It would be Donovan and Wynn that would need to reach in order for Burleson to be the tying run. And the Pirates are going to have a chat with Matson. Getting David Bednar ready in the bullpen. Their closer. All things considered, that's not a terrible outcome of the inning so far. And now Donovan and Wynn just need to reach base. So here's the first pitch from Matson to Donovan. Upstairs, it's 1-0. So Matson doing the cardinal sin in this situation by walking Scott, giving up the hit to Pozo. That's fine. But walking Scott is the cardinal sin. You can't be walking everybody. The 1-0 pitch from Matson is popped up. Brendan Donovan bails him out. Pop up over to first. Catch is made by Horwitz, and that is it. It's a sweep of the Cardinals by the Pirates. Cardinals definitely out-hit the Pirates in this series, but did not score enough of those runs. Pirates were great with runners in scoring position. The Cardinals were not, and that's the story of the series. That being said, the other story is you have no right-handed hitters. After that injury to Contreras with Arenado out for the series, and when that is the case, it's very tough to go up against all those lefty specialists, and that means the Pirates win. So Cardinals split a road trip. They go sweep in Cleveland and then get swept at PNC against the Pirates. See you guys soon on Friday for the big